What kind of person steals a war hero's medals and wears them like costume jewelry? I stood on my father's porch, heart pounding, staring at Sarah, who had my dad's Bronze Star pinned to her jacket like some flea market find. Her smile was all sugar, offering me a plate of DVY-led eggs, but her eyes glinted with something darker, like she knew she just gutted me and was daring me to do something about it. My father, James, had been in the ground barely a week, and here was this woman, strutting around his house, acting like she owned his legacy. That moment wasn't just a slap in the face. It was a match tossed into dry grass, and I was ready to let it burn. I'd come back to this sleepy little town after 20 years in the army, a place where gossip spreads faster than wildfire, and everyone knows your business before you do. I thought I'd seen it all: combat, loss, the kind of stuff that hardens you. But burying Dad, the man who taught me to stand tall no matter what, broke something deep inside. His medals, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, commendations earned pulling men from burning wrecks and getting them weren't just metal. They were him. 2 tours, countless scars, and never a word of bragging. I'd built a memorial for him in his Levying room, a wooden case I carved myself, holding those medals on the mantel next to a folded flag and a faded photo of him in uniform, all proud jaw and steady eyes. Neighbors stopped by to pay respects, some with quiet words, others fumbling through condolences. Then Sarah showed up. She didn't knock. Just waltzed in with a tray of vegan brownies, her eyes scanning the room like she was pricing it for an auction. "Oh, this military stuff by the door might upset the HOA's delicate souls," she said, adjusting her ridiculous wide-brimmed hat, the kind you'd see on a gardening show. I swallowed my anger as she hovered over the medals, cooing about their shine, and joking about real ones just lying around. Her laugh wasn't friendly. It was sharp, like a fox eyeing a henhouse. 2 days later, I came back from the hardware store, arms full of lumber to fix Dad's sagging fence, and saw a cracked window by the side door, glass webbed like someone had leaned too hard. My gut twisted. Inside, the house wasn't trashed, but it was worse. Precise. The metal case was gone. The flag and photos sat untouched, but the medals Dad's story were just gone. I tore through the house, checking closets, drawers, even under the damn beds, half praying I'd misplaced it in my grief. Then I stepped outside and saw them, small, muddy footprints in the flower bed, and one clear high heel mark with a spiral pattern. Who breaks into a house in stilettos? I didn't need a detective. I'd seen those shoes clicking across the porch at the funeral. I marched across the street to Sarah's house, pulse hammering like a war drum. She answered with that syrupy smile, hat still on, but it wasn't the hat that stopped me cold. It was the Bronze Star glinting on her jacket, worn like a cheap brooch. "Something wrong, hon?" she asked, stepping outside and shutting her door quick, like she was hiding a body. Her hands shook not from fear, but excitement, like she got off on this. "Someone broke into my house," I said, teeth gritted. "Stole something important. Just letting neighbors know." Her head tilted, all cartoon VY Lane charm. "Oh, that's awful. You should get a better lock. It's not safe anymore." I wanted to rip that pin off her, to scream, but Dad's voice rang in my head: honor. Patience. Let liars trap themselves. I nodded, thanked her, and walked away. Back home, I called the cops. A young officer jotted notes, mentioned checking the HOA's cameras. I almost laughed. Sarah ran the HOA. Those cameras would malfunction the night of the theft. I'd bet my last buck. Still, I played along, setting my own trap trail cams in the yard, a motion sensor porch light, and an empty display case with fake trinkets in the window to tempt her greedy hands. Every day, staring at that bare mantel, I felt like I'd failed Dad. Those medals weren't just his, they were mine, too, as his son and legal heir to every nail in that house. One night, I sat on the porch, coffee going cold, watching the street as dusk crept in. Sarah stepped out to water her fake plants, while VYing at me, now sporting 2 metal pins. My stomach lurched. She wasn't just stealing, she was flaunting it, daring me to feel small. But I wasn't some pushover neighbor. I was James's son, and she just picked a fight she didn't understand. Sleep didn't come easy. Her smug face burned in my mind. She'd taken the whole case, bold enough to parade a piece in public. That wasn't a mistake. It was a taunt, baiting me to slip up. But the army taught me patience, and I need every ounce of it. The police had no leads, and the HOA delayed camera access for maintenance. Sarah was covering her tracks. So I turned to the town's underbelly. Sarah had enemies, find a guy for a blue mailbox, banned kids' bikes, even fought the librarian over a Christmas wreath. I cited Mr. Thompson, an old-timer who'd butted heads with her over his bird bath. He had private cameras, not HOA-controlled, set up after Sarah called his garden gnomes a hazard. Over coffee, he showed me footage from the theft night. At 2:30 a.m., a figure moved small, clutching a metallic case, wearing that damn hat. It was Sarah. The video was too grainy for court, but it was enough for me. I dug deeper, finding Dad's records in a worn folder labeled military keepsakes. Every medal serial number was logged. A buddy from my unit, now in private security, suggested registering them with pawn shops and military forums. Sarah wouldn't keep them hidden forever, she'd flash them at some HOA gala, craving attention. So I started showing up at HOA meetings, asking about security, budgets, and the new display cabinet in Sarah's window. Her smile twitched, but she played it cool. Then came her letter, signed as HOA president, calling me disruptive. I shot back a legal reply, copying the police, stating my property was outside HOA control. I rallied the local veterans group, who were spitting mad. One, a retired Marine, suggested going public at the town forum. Then I saw it in Mr. Thompson's footage, a second figure trailing Sarah, holding a clipboard, wearing an HOA badge. This wasn't just theft, it was a scheme. I baited her again, placing a replica metal case with a GPS tracker in the window and a night sound camera nearby. Past midnight, the motion sensor flashed. Sarah crept onto the porch, pried the lock with a tool, and snatched the fake case. The camera caught every move, the tracker pinged from her house. I didn't confront her. I waited, then took the footage, GPS data, and serial numbers to the police. The officer's eyes widened at the video. "This is big," he said, kicking it up to detectives. I went bigger, posting an edited clip online anonymously, Sarah's silhouette stealing the case, captioned, "Some legacies aren't yours to take." By morning, the town was on fire. Neighbors spilled stories of Sarah's HOA turn fines, thefts, citations that somehow always benefited her property. The anger wasn't just mine anymore. Sarah came knocking the next day, her cool mask cracking. "We should settle this privately," she said, eyes darting. I mentioned the police, and she threatened a slander lawsuit. "Clear your name in court," I said. She paled, muttered something, and left. Detectives got a warrant. They found the medals in a locked cabinet at her house, along with other stolen military items from local families. Her home was taped off, the town watching in silence. Not one soul defended her. I prepped the display case, polishing the wood, knowing the medals would come home. But I wanted more than justice, I wanted the truth to hit hard. I organized a memorial at the town hall, returning stolen medals to families with the veterans group's help. The room brimmed with tears, laughter, and stories. A kid clutching his grandpa's Bronze Star asked what it meant. "Bravery when it mattered," I said, his eyes shining. The trial was quick. Sarah's lawyer claimed she thought the medals were donated, but the judge wasn't buying it. I testified, showing the medals, my voice catching as I described her wearing Dad's Bronze Star like a trinket. The footage played Sarah's face clear as day. Neighbors and veterans piled on, one showing a photo of her grandpa's stolen medal. The judge asked why she hid the items if she meant to preserve them. Her lawyer had nothing. She was convicted community service, restitution, a permanent HOA ban, and a public apology. At the community center, Sarah read a shaky, scripted apology. No one clapped. The silence was louder than any jeer. The HOA fell apart, members quit, and a petition to dissolve it surged. Someone sent me a photo of Sarah with her veteran dad, a note saying he never got his ceremony. It stirred something, pity, maybe, but didn't erase what she'd done. The town built a memorial, a wall of veterans' names with replica medals and a flame at its heart. At the unveiling, kids waved flags, and the crowd clapped softly. The library opened a wing named for Dad, James Carter Veterans Legacy Room, with his quote, "Honor doesn't shout. It stands." I wrote to Dad in my head, telling him about the kid, the families, the town that fought back. The house felt alive again, the medals gleaming under a soft spotlight. The neighborhood bloomed, flags flew, kids played, gardens grew wild. Walking to the memorial at dusk, I saw flowers, names traced in stone, people lingering. The town hadn't just remembered Dad's VY Tory. They'd claimed it, not with rage, but with relentless honesty. That was the story worth telling.